Hey, everybody, this muscle. I'm going to be talking about fitness and nutrition and everything else that just matters to live a healthier and happier life and just lifestyle in general. And as you can see, the title was basically focusing on habits, how to build good habits, even in your moments where you just want to quit, especially when it comes to fitness goals. A lot of times people will, they'll start off really, and those two things, they fizzle away really quickly. To me, excited and motivated are two of the most dangerous things you can have when you first start fitness. The best shape is immediately, but if you're going to do it, you truly know that you're serious is when you don't feel great, meaning you're tired, you're sluggish, you're not that motivated. That's a good time to actually start getting into better shape, because now you know how serious it is for you. Everybody, 5 a.m. rolls around, and you have a decision to make. Do I get out of bed like I said I was going to do, or am I going to stay underneath the warm covers, and we'll start my fitness goals tomorrow? And that, when it comes to fitness, people need to get motivated to get into better shape. It's backwards, because motivation is temporary. Motivation will come, it will go. It's an emotional road to getting into better shape. And when it comes to anything in general, that only role of anything that you want to be successful in. Fitness is no exception. What the reason so much is that no matter where you are in your economic background, where you are in your religious background, or where you are when it comes to your social, make any difference. If you don't, some have more abilities. Some things may come easier to some than others when it comes to developing certain things. Is going to show. I don't care who they gave you. I don't care if you're one of those trust fund kids. You can't. They can't. Mommy and daddy can't do your push-ups for you. And I'm not being crass, or I'm not trying to be coy about the situation, but I think a lot of times, people will watch a bunch of YouTube videos. They'll get all the science and all the don't do's, and don't do this and don't do that and do it this way and do it that way. And before dating their brain, they don't know where to start, or they just don't know, what it takes to continue to put in better shape. I'm breaking up on my mic. Uh-oh. What's going on with my mic? Check 1 2. How come that's happening? Jake, mic is a little staticky. Sounds like you are too close to it. Oh boy, let's back off a little bit. Let me turn it down. Thanks for telling me. Let's draw that in and draw that back. Give me a second here. I'll figure it out. Bite. Check 1 2, check 2. Normally I don't use this mic. It looks like we're getting. We'll try not to. The sound is cutting in and out. I'll solve that problem right away. Let's get rid of that. Give me a second, guys, and I will answer your questions. Let's push this out. I will answer your questions in just a moment. Let me get off my soapbox first, and let me figure out the mic situation. Let me just shut this down. So, luckily I have a backup mic. All right. What was I saying? All right, is that better? Hopefully that's better. Somebody give me some feedback and let me know how the sound is going. It was working fine about 5 seconds ago, but who knows what the deal is. It's already sounding better. You're on the right track. All right, cool. We'll try it. We'll try that instead. Okay, going back to habits though, it's habitually getting into something when it really, everything within your emotions and your feelings are telling you not to. And this is bothering me now. Let's just put that down. What does that mean? Your body wants to quit, right? Your body doesn't want to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, or you had a long day of work and you don't want to work out afterwards. It doesn't matter. Emotion and situation shouldn't really take the place of the work that you put into something. Unfortunately, I think people are getting away from what truly makes one successful in the fitness world. And it's no different than anything else in life. It requires a lot of sacrifice. It requires hard work. It requires, moments of doing things when everybody else around you is trying to distract you from doing the right things. People will push you off course because they want you to adopt their bad habits and subscribe to their unhealthy lifestyle, so they don't feel bad about themselves. But you know what? You have to make a decision for yourself that, hey, I'm doing this for me, and it's important that I reach these goals. The only way to do that is to find a pathway, a map that's going to get you there. And there are many different directions. You don't have to just take one direction to get to a specific goal when it comes to reaching your fitness. But what you have to do is find a map that will get you to that destination, and then not give up on that destination, because there's going to be a lot of roadblocks, a lot of detours, a lot of people trying to push you off course. But the worst enemy in all the habits isn't these fake enemies. It isn't people that are actually trying to push you off course or distract you. It's you. You are your own worst enemy when it comes to building bad habits over good habits and not actually focusing on the goals that you set for yourself. We convince ourselves we can't do it. We convince ourselves that it's not worth it. Here's a prime example. Somebody's trying to get into better shape. The first week, they live on the scale. And they weigh themselves 2 or 3 times a day, and they realize after day 4 they've been gaining weight. Instead of actually giving it some time, because when you first start in working out and you first start fitness in general, you will gain weight because you're getting more blood flow, you're recruiting more muscle fibers, so naturally your body is going to respond differently. That weight ends up getting shed down, you start to build more muscle, you start to build more muscle tone, and before you know it, you fit into your clothes better, you have more energy, you can sprint up the stairs without being out of breath. If you have kids, you can play with them without being tired. You can go through your day, and at the end of the day, still have the energy to enjoy other things and other activities, rather than just sitting in front of the couch watching news wash over you for the rest of the day, which is no way to really live life. But that all being said, you are truly your worst enemy when it comes to getting out of shape. Building habits. It's coming to something, doing it over and over again. The truth is, if you already, before you even start the workout, if you already started counting the cost, you're probably going to fail already. What do I mean by that? People want to know, all right, well, how much do I have to do to get to this point? How long did you work to get to that point? You know what I tell everybody? You have to do it all. You have to give everything you have. Because if it's truly important to you, you have to invest everything. Otherwise, it's not that important. You cannot invest a little bit in your fitness and expect to get results. You just can't do it. People don't realize how much effort it takes to get into better shape. Now, you can see results immediately. You can see the energy changes within a week, or even a couple of days. You can start to notice, hey, I feel better, I feel looser. But the real results, especially when it comes to your goals, you're not going to see those until months down the road, sometimes even years. So if you're already starting to count the cost, you need to step back and maybe reevaluate your goals and how important they are to you. Is fitness truly important to you? Is getting in better shape truly important to you? If you say yes, there are no more excuses. There aren't any excuses. We have them, but we can eliminate all of them. We all have time. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody has time to breathe. Everybody has time to eat. Everybody makes time to sleep. That's survival. That's all fitness is. It's survival. Working out should be like your oxygen. It's not an option. It's not a luxury. If you don't stay in shape, all these other things are going to be affected. Your family, your friends, your sphere of influence, all of this is going to play a role. So if you don't take care of you, none of this other stuff on the exterior is really going to matter, you know. And for the most part, now fitness becomes like this backdoor thing, this thing on the shelf that when I have time, I'm going to go to it, and then I'm going to get after it. And that's really holding back on how well you could probably do. Again, counting the cost. How valuable is it to you? And if you're already thinking, how many push-ups do I have to do? How many days in a row do I have to do? Instead of looking at, hey, the destination, whatever it takes, I want to get that destination. So if you have the map, find it and then continue to see those results. People don't live that way anymore, unfortunately, because we see these Instagram success stories where all you do is see the final product, like, oh, I want to get to this point. And nobody talks about how they got to that point. It could have been years of dedication. You know, when you look at millionaires and billionaires, unless they were born into it, if they were self-made, there was a process that had to take place before that happened. It didn't just happen. If that was the case, then everybody would do it, right? It takes dedication, it took setbacks, it took failures, it took points where they were probably broke. But they learned how not to do things and found a better map. And the reason why I say there's different maps to get to a destination of fitness is that, you know, and as I've always believed, there's no cookie cut way to get into better shape. You have to be dedicated. You have to work hard. You got to be willing to suffer. You have to be able to absorb pain and put yourself through more of it. In fact, you have to find a way to embrace pain and get in this, I'm going to use a cliche, but get comfortable in being uncomfortable. Because truly, there is no growth without suffering. And you're going to suffer one way or the other. You might as well suffer, you know, in the position of where you're going in the right destination, as opposed to making all the wrong decisions and then suffering because you did nothing. So you have to be a disciplined disciple, or a disciple of discipline is probably a good way. You literally have to be dedicated to your fitness goals. Counting the cost is not even, shouldn't even be under consideration. You see a destination, you want to get there. All right, what is it going to take to get there? But I'm willing to push forward anything it takes. How much? Everything. That's what it takes. It takes everything you got, all of your effort. But I can promise you this, the more effort you give in fitness, just like anything, the better habits you'll build and the easier it will become. Now, granted, make no mistake, fitness is never easy. If you're not putting yourself through that pain, of course, there's no growth. So suffering is required, but you get used to that. You start to develop abilities and able, almost calloused to that pain to push through it. And the more pain you can tolerate, guess what? The better you will get. The stronger you will get, the better shape you will get. And I know in many cases, and I see some people on the wall, I'm kind of talking to the choir here, because many of you know what it's like to push yourself through pain. I took a lot of flack when I first started this channel because my beginner workouts weren't necessarily for beginners, but they were designed to prep you for the pain that I was going to put you through naturally. My workouts they started off a little bit more difficult. You know, I started off with things like evolution training and, you know, a 50-10 tempo, and we made that hit. 50-10 wasn't really a thing back then. Everyone was doing Tabata. Anybody can do 20 seconds. 20-10's easy. How about 50-10? So it's a little bit more difficult. So, you know, to me, there are no beginners. There's just, you're learning and you get to a different process. But we all know how to kind of go through stumbling blocks in life and overcome them if it means something to us. You're just learning. All right. I'm going to stop that. I just wanted to make that the beginning part of this. Opening the door for everybody on habits. There's more things I want to talk about, but I'll answer questions. There was a question that I received on email a couple days ago, and I'll talk about that later, and I'll answer that one if we have time. Hey, Q Chino, the Costa Rican warrior. Good to see you. Avia in the house. Hey, how you doing? Denny, Jen. Let's see. Alex Mack. M, I hope I said that right. The sound is cutting in and out. Yeah, we hopefully figured that out. I hate night workouts, but they work right now. I can I cannot wait to get back to morning workouts. Yeah, somebody asked me before, like, what's easier? Um, let's see. Give me a second. Pause this way. I don't know if there's an easier or harder when it comes to workouts. I will say I do find morning workouts to be more successful. So if you can work out to start off your entire day, it gives you a jump start for the rest of your day. You're actually going to have more energy. It's going to help you through. You got the blood flow going. You're looser. It does tend to like help you at the end of the day too, because you get this second burst of wind. Plus, it gives you another opportunity that if you do feel good, maybe you get a second activity in there, as opposed to if you don't have a morning workout. You have one shot at night, and if you had a long day in the beginning, the first thing to suffer is usually your fitness. So if I have to make a recommendation to anybody, I would recommend that they try to get into a pattern of working out first thing in the morning if you can work through that. Sometimes that's difficult. I know some of you probably start the day really early, and that would mean you'll have to get to bed really early, and I know that's not always an option as well. I would say even if you can get an afternoon workout, if you have that opportunity for lunch, that's still better than the evening. However, if evening's your only option and that's what you're doing, I respect that, because it's a very difficult time to do the workout. I'm going to talk about this because I am offering one tonight. But hey, it's still a workout. You're still getting something done. So that's better than no workout at all. And I've done a lot of evening workouts in the past. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Your body and mind get used to things fast. You just stick to it. Yeah, it's just muscle memory. And, once you get into shape, you learn how to do it. It becomes a little bit easier. Yeah, you have to choose your pain and evaluate along the way. There's no way to really get anywhere in life if you don't push the envelope a little bit. That's anything. Society comes up with norms and rules, and it's only because what's working and fitting within society's diagram of what's normal. But fitness adapts to whoever you are. Like, what works for one person may not work for another person. So that's always my goal, is find something you like to do, make it fun, and keep doing it over and over again. It's repetition. Oh, I don't feel good. Doesn't matter. Work out. Ah, man, this happened in the day. Doesn't matter. Work out. Oh, I'm so depressed. Even more so. Work out, because that's going to change your thoughts, your ideas. When you start to move, blood flow starts going. Even if you just jump around, you're sparking new things in the brain part called hippocampus, where it develops new thoughts and new ideas, and your ability to think differently goes to another level, and it gives you a little bit more confidence to handle some of those circumstances. So even more so, you should work out. Again, there are excuses. We just don't use them. We shouldn't take them. So eliminate those. I would like to get back to morning workouts before 4 a.m. It's too early for my long work days nowadays. And yeah, that's Denny. But one thing I'll say about Denny is he's been a follower for years. Denny's on the website. He gets himself involved in the community, and that's why he's been so successful. And I hope I don't embarrass him on this, but I know the people who have followed quite well, because we've had a community for some time now. Many of you have been very involved. Some of you aren't as much involved, but you're still there, and it's so good to see when I see comments from like, I've been doing it for the last 2 years. I just don't comment as much. That's the opposite of Denny. Denny gets really involved, and I think that's one of the reasons why he still does stay in the shape he stays. He does all the workouts on the live platform on the website. He does the workouts on the YouTube channel when we go live. He just does them in the evening. And then he leaves comments and he gets involved like he is now, and many of you are, in the community. And that's what I say. Find another person. If you're just starting off and you're just learning how you need to get into better shape, a lot of times that emotion that you have, that drive, that ambition, you're like, I'm gonna do it. You write down all your goals, you're excited, and then you have a setback. It becomes very easy, even if you write these goals down, to say, it's not that important anymore. Find somebody that can be there on your side, because once you're accountable, it becomes a little bit easier to stay on track.
And most people can't be self-motivated. It's very difficult to do that. And even then, it's good to have somebody else who's accountable to what you're doing, because that will help push you a little bit further. So that moment you want to quit, somebody else is by your side and saying, hey, you're working out today, right? Oh, yeah. And guess what? It gets better. Sort of. Sometimes it's hard. Mac, I'm gonna call you Mac M. I like that. But I find that you have to ensure that you are not breaking your body instead of learning how to apply good pressure. Missed something. You have to choose your pain. Yeah. There's a difference too when we talk about pain and soreness. There's always been a mindset to push through pain. Our brain represents pain and discomfort a little different. I'm not saying when you're talking about putting yourself through suffering, it's a little different. Suffering's not necessarily pain, that meaning, oh, the joints in my knee hurt, or my hip hurts, or my back hurts, or my neck hurts. That's a little bit different, where getting out those kinks, you're trying to stay healthy. We're pushing through when your muscles are burning and all that lactic acid is built, and your head is telling you that's enough, and your body is ready to break that way. You want to get it to just a point where you're like, and then you pull back. That's where you want to continue to push. Being in that position of suffering and discomfort just enough to continue to push yourself to grow a little bit more. Thanks, Denny. I appreciate it. And one thing I will say is the success within the community has a lot to do with a lot of you guys together too. You find people who do want to see themselves grow, who want to see themselves get to a better position, fitness-wise, even in life. I know there's some people on the platform that aren't really doing it for the workouts. They're just doing it for the motivation of being around a community of positive people, and that's good too. Whatever helps, because if you're already in shape, you still want to be surrounded by people who are goal-minded, as opposed to just constantly berating you with negativities. That gets old, and I'm not suggesting we can't get negative at some point, but you have to kick the negativity out. And I'll tell you this, you feel negative, nothing helps that better than a quick 20-minute workout, especially MMA or something that allows you to get off a little bit of steam. You will feel better. Plus, you're working your heart rate, and that helps as well. Yeah, it sounds brown nosy, but seriously, if I hadn't found Jake years ago, I had no idea where I'd be. Probably doing P90X for the 1,000th time. Tony Horton's still out there. I don't know what he's doing these days. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. It's, the community is definitely a big part, and it's one of the reasons I want to keep reminding people of where their thoughts need to go. Going into that right direction. And, that means a lot, especially coming from Denny. We have done some things in the past. Years ago, we did, some people who've been following me on YouTube, we all went and did a Spartan race together. And it was really cool to see that come together and see people push themselves through, stumbling blocks and something they're basically used to. Finding, that moment where you have to kind of trudge through discomforts and get through it. Speaking of that, those of you who may be watching and you're not commenting and you're wondering if you should work out or not, I'm looking at it now, let me see. I think I just renewed it. I think there are a few seats left. I am doing a Zoom workout tonight. It's something I normally don't do, so I'm new at it, but it will be fun. So there are a few seats left. If you want to sign up, there is a link below at 7 p.m. So I got to go in like 5 minutes so I can get set up. But I'll answer a few questions before I go. We are going to be doing a 20-minute body weight hit. You don't need weight. You don't need anything. Just yourself. And get some shorts or whatever. Get yourself in a nice space where you can move around just a little bit. It doesn't have to be big. And get ready to work for 20 minutes. But it'll be fun. You'll feel better. And it will be your workout for the day. And I promise you, if you don't feel a little bit better after that, you didn't push yourself hard enough or you didn't do it. You're gonna feel better regardless. And so I'll be actually doing that in the next 30 minutes. That's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Currently, right now it's 6:30. So yeah, keep that in mind. I will answer as many questions at this point as I can. And in the meantime, if you want to prep for that, like I said, there's a few seats left. and whenever it fills up, that's it. I'm not going to open up any more. But it's in the link below in the description. If for whatever reason, I'm going to check down there and make sure it's still there. Yeah, it looks like it is. But if you don't see it on your end, go to relentlessmuscle.com. It should be up there. But one of those are not. I mean, I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, sign up for it. It's 20 minutes, and it's a short part of your day, but we'll have some fun. And it'll be interesting because I have never done a Zoom workout. All the live workouts I've done have been either through Vimeo or through YouTube. Nothing's ever been through Zoom. I've done Zoom meetings before, but this is a little bit different. Don't worry about the Zoom. Don't let it scare you. For this first one, I decided to do the webinar version of the Zoom, so the camera is only going to be on me. You don't have to worry about being on camera. You won't have to. There won't be any speaker on your side or microphone, I should say. The way you'll be able to chat is just like the YouTube. So you just go ahead and I think you can chat. I'll find out. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do it. All right, awesome. I cannot wait to see you up there. Is it Ali Mac? Ali X Mac. Am I saying that right, Mac? Either way, I can't wait to see you there. I'm gonna call you Mac. Thank you, Martha. You can always join in. I think there's a few seats left. Let me refresh this. Yeah. There's a couple left. So it filled up, and I added a few more. So once that's filled, it's filled. I don't have anything else for today. For the most part, just make sure again, Monday through Friday, we've been going live on YouTube. So there's the 5-day hit. There's also going to be that thumbnail's not up yet because I didn't want to confuse everything that's going on, but that thumbnail will be up for Friday later on tonight, so you can check that out. That'll be at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, and yeah, I think I missed a question. Someone had something. I have to run, but I have a question that you have been asked 1,000 times. I just finished the upper body 500 reps from this morning. I'm definitely feeling the hunger. Question is, what are you eating? What are your lean go-to meals? I have been stuck in a rut with food lately. I need something new. Do you have any good eats? Yeah, that's a great question, Denny. I hope you're still in here to listen to it. But so when you do some of this heavier lifting, a lot of times it's going to increase your appetite. So just keep that in mind. I used to do intermittent fasting. I did that for about 6 months. I really loved it. Things changed because I'm working out more, calories are burning a lot quicker, so I gave up intermittent fasting. I eat constantly now. I'm probably back up to 5,000 calories a day. So I do have some go-to meals. One of the biggest ones is for the past month I've been doing rotisserie chicken from a local grocery store. That it's like $4.99 for an entire chicken, and I use that and break it up. I can eat an entire chicken, yes. Sometimes too. But it's healthy. You can remove the skin. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If you don't eat chicken, there's other options there. Believe it or not, and probably I'm assuming in a lot of areas there are a lot of grocery stores that offer things that you can literally get right there to serve. That I think are relatively healthy. You're better off to go there than any fast food. I will say, if you're in a pinch, and this is just coming from my background of doing a lot of traveling, if I have very little options, I will look for Chipotle, and I'll get usually like the burrito bowl. And I know people are probably like cringing when they hear that because the sodium count on that is off the charts, and I agree with you. But when you don't have a lot of options, one of the things about the burrito bowl is it can give you a lot of protein. You can certainly get lean things in there and lean options. So it's certainly better than options like, chicken, fried chicken or Kentucky Fried Chicken or Popeyes or things like that. I would go to somebody. I would probably go to something like Chipotle over Subway. Neither sponsors, just my preference, but totally up to you guys. There are healthy ways to basically eat healthy everywhere, even at McDonald's, believe it or not. So again, coming from travels, I've always had go-tos. I always kept a bag of cashews with me or almonds, and those were my two favorite nuts, but it's totally up to you guys. Seeds are a good option, but not everybody can do seeds, so I understand that. Not everybody can do almonds and cashews. So, but these were things that I kept with me to just make sure I have something to get through a certain part of the day if I can't get a meal right away. So, and then of course the final option is just always prepare some sort of protein shake. I resorted to specific calorie drinks with protein in them. So it's a healthy calorie drink where it's very low sugars, but the calories are up there, so you're not losing your calories. And that's kind of where I'm at these days. Just making sure I can maintain calories because I don't necessarily have a lot of options to eat throughout the day. That's just the way it is, and most people are in that situation as well. If I missed a question, you had one today, I apologize. The Q&As will come, they're going to come back slowly. So just keep that in mind. I just can't spend as much time on it tonight because we are doing a workout in 30 minutes. Denny, have a good one. Thanks for the question. That's a good one. I will defer to the new people to give it a shot. Avia, you're always welcome. Come on in. Where is it on the website? You know what? I probably messed up. It may not be on the public website unless you're a member. So give me a second. I will try to share it one more time. And I'll leave it in the description. So what you want to do after I share it this time is just refresh your video, and you'll see it in the link. But give me 1 second. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna have to jump off this. Buffering. It's buffering. My internet is buff. Hold on. All right, now I'm not getting to it. Martha's asking me. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure this out. Martha's asking me my take on intermittent fasting. While I'm trying to get through this, I will talk about that. I don't know. It's buffering for some reason. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, it should be on there. So if you look on the video, it's still on there. Go into the description, and underneath the video, you will see it'll say join the live 7 p.m. Central Standard Time HIIT workout. Below that is a link. It's a Zoom link. Click on that, and then you basically have to register. And then once you register, it'll let you in. And there's a few seats left, so you should have some space there. One last thing, and I want to cover intermittent fasting because I do love it. I think there's different options for intermittent fasting. I chose the Warrior one. The Warrior one was basically I gave myself 4 hours, a 4-hour window to eat. And then there was, obviously there's 20 hours of, in those 20 hours, it's not that I didn't eat. I did have protein shakes and I had almonds, and sometimes I would treat myself to vegetables. But there wouldn't be full meals of anything. All my calories were in a 4-hour period. And I didn't do it for weight loss. I did it for just because that was the way my life was because I was traveling so much. But I noticed my energy levels after the first couple weeks spiked, and I loved it. I slept better. It was easier for me to get up. I definitely felt leaner. There was some weight loss in my case because my metabolism was just eating away. But I did love it. I just couldn't stick to it because I burned too many calories, and I had to go to some extra meals. But there are other versions of intermittent fasting. That was the extreme one. You can do like the 18-12 or not 18-12, 16-12, something like that. Whatever. You get it's 16-8. I get it right. You have an 8-hour window of where of moments you can eat, and there's a few other options too. And I did the 8-hour window before as well, but to me I felt no different. I read a book once. There was a doctor, I can't think of his name right now, that wrote it where he basically really pushed intermittent fasting, and he really believed in 1 meal a day, which kind of goes back to like the Warrior thing, where it's like a lot of the problems happen when you actually eat food. So if you have inflammation issues, if you have rheumatoid arthritis or just arthritis in general, that all happens after you eat. So the less time you can do that, and the more gaps you have, the better it's going to be for your body. That was his theory. I can vouch for that. One thing I don't deal with intermittent fasting. I don't deal with like any type of arthritis, but I will say my body did feel better by eating less meals. These days I can't say there's much of a difference because I've been so physically active, but I'm also not traveling 6 days a week either, from coast to coast all over the nation. So that does make a difference too. So my energy spiked just as a result of that. All right, I can't continue on with IF, but I hope that helped a little bit. I'm going to get ready for the next workout at 7 p.m. So if you get a chance, I think there's 1 or 2 seats left. Go ahead and sign up for it. And I will see you guys on the Zoom live in about 20 minutes. Guys, thanks for watching. Always remember to healthy, train hard, most especially have fun. If you are interested in live workouts, especially doing the strength training at this point, 500 reps per workout. We're doing a total of 10,000 reps. That's at that's in the website at relentlessmuscle.com. Relentlessmuscle.com. Sign up. You can get a free week. You can see how you like it. If it works for you, then it'll just be a monthly subscription page, and you'll have access to all the cool stuff and features that go along with it, especially the community, which more things will be involved coming very soon. I can't wait for that. All right, guys, take care, and I'm out. Let's turn up the volume on this. Give me a second. And if, again, tomorrow, if you do want to do a workout tomorrow, I'm going to be here as well, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, guys.